Hello and welcome to our latest episode of Talon Talk. Today I'm doing a student showcase. We have got Austin, Suess. Cease. I knew I was going to mess it up there. Austin Cease, he's with us. He is the student body president for the 2022-2023 academic year at Southwest. He is an engineering major. He is a PTK member. He's the very first All-American from Southwest. He's a wrestler, wrestling at the 197 weight class. Austin comes to us from Warner Robins, Georgia.
Yeah.
His dad is in the military. He was in the military with the Air Force.
Yes.
And he has a really cool wealth of experience. And I just wanted to have an opportunity to introduce you to Austin before you get to hear him speak at graduation. So, Austin, thanks for being with us on Talon Talk.
Of course. Thank you for having me. I'm excited about this.
So, if you've watched any of the episodes, you know we jump straight in and go straight in pretty hard. I'm going to ask you to tell me the three most influential people in your life.
Yeah, I was thinking about this, watching the previous podcast, and to me, it's hard to kind of pick three people, and because I have such like a broad experience with certain things that kind of goes to like my faith, wrestling, school, and just everyday life. So I think I'm going to answer that question through those categories.
Do it, man.
So, of course, I guess in general, let's say in general, at the very top, before we get into the categories, I just got to say, like, my direct family, parents, brother and sister, they've always been there for me, super supportive in everything that I do. And they're accountability partners, I guess. And they'll tell me when I mess up. They're not just there, just like tell me to keep on doing one thing when it's not beneficial. Mm-hmm. But to get into the categories, for my religion or my faith, I'm Christian. I definitely say my mom. She super religious woman, kind of pushes me in my faith and like holds me accountable, always sending me Instagram scriptures and preachers to follow. Kind of when I'm feeling down, she sends me like a passage, and she's not like kind of push this faith on you. Mm-hmm. She'll love me no matter what. Obviously she wants me to be more religious, but she'll love me no matter what, and I think that's what I love about her. And then wrestling, I gotta say, the two people that got me into it, because there's two, I'm gonna say Darren Farber and Frank Morrissey. They're one of my two best buds. They're fathers. Without them, I definitely wouldn't be in the seat, because I wouldn't be exposed to wrestling at all, and I wouldn't be exposed to the experience I have. And I want to be as good as I am, and I definitely want to be an All-American without them. And then just like everyday life, kind of just experience, maturity, and like common sense. I gotta say my dad. He's even though we kind of disagree on a lot, we kind of butt heads a lot. He had taught me a lot. Kind of don't care what anyone thinks. If you have a goal in mind, shoot for it, and be realistic about it at the same time. But he's, ever since I was a kid, I'm super hands-on. Mm-hmm. And he's always taught me, and always been there for me, and has always helped me with anything that I needed help with. Kind of, he was, I'm trying to find the word. he was, I don't know, I guess growing up, like, I was just kind of, like, stuck to him, like, just gaining knowledge, gaining experience as much as I could. Even when I didn't want to, he'd just, like, come here, you're going to watch this. And I was like, yes, sir. But yeah, I think, I guess it goes down to 4 people. And then my brother and sister, I'm the baby, so they kind of protected me from the harsh world growing up. So I guess kind of my direct family, and then outside my direct family, I gotta say Frank and Darren kind of impacted me on wrestling a lot. And then you have those youth pastors and everyone else. But probably my direct family, and then
there's two like mentor coaches that have
affected me a lot in wrestling.
Good deal, man. That kind of gives us an idea of like where you've coming from and your upbringing and everything. So you are getting ready to graduate. You're getting ready to wrap up your time here with us, and so this is a question. How has this here at Southwest prepared you for your next step?
For my next step, it's kind of got the ball rolling a little bit. Kind of gave me some insight of what I want to do or how my degree is going to go, and kind of give me that experience that I didn't have right out of high school, as in like staying by myself, having to live by my own out of like several states away from where I live, having to juggle between wrestling, school, and really having to set my priorities and be disciplined. And Southwest really helped me to figure that out at I would say a community college level before I get off to that university. So it's not as stressed. So I have it all figured out now before I go off to that university. And if I didn't, then I'd probably all fall apart. I might have, because universities are, from what I know, a little bit more strict. So things kind of weren't as lenient if I did fall behind. So.
Right. Just for those of you that don't know, Austin just this past weekend competed in nationals.
Yeah.
And even in spite of getting an injury and hurting yourself, you finished 8th in the nation. And so that's a really cool thing all on its own. So what I want, like, where are you going next? Do you know?
I've been kind of thinking about that a lot. That's a tough question that I've been thinking about a long time, praying about. But I have it boiled down to 2 categories: if I want to wrestle, or if I don't want to wrestle. If I do want to wrestle, I'm still kind of undecided on where I want to go. I'm still talking to colleges. Emory Henry, it's down the road. It's a pretty good option. If I don't want to wrestle, Virginia Tech has a pretty good engineering program, and then so does Georgia Tech. It's also closer to home for me. But my girlfriend wants me to go to Virginia Tech because she wants to get out of Georgia, and which I don't kind of blame her, because I kind of want to get good at snowboarding. So
not a lot of snow in Georgia.
Yeah, not really. So yeah, I think growing up, I might have seen one snowfall in Georgia, and that was when I was in 4th grade, maybe. So
you have seen more snow in your time at Southwest than all the rest of your time in Georgia.
Oh yeah. It's, if you see snow in Georgia, I don't know.
Shut down the town.
Yes, like something's happening. So, but yeah, it's colleges wise. Ideally, because both Virginia Tech and Georgia Tech are both very prestigious schools for engineering, and I want to become an electrical engineer. And they're both really great schools, and I'd be blessed with the opportunity to go to either of them. And even if I just kind of thinking outside the box, if I do go to Virginia Tech, they do have a wrestling program. The wrestling program is really good. But I could just walk on but I don't know. I kind of want to focus more on school, because especially I've spoke to some of adults that have their engineering degree, and they said their junior year was definitely one of the toughest. So do I want to juggle between that and school? I mean, wrestling in school and any extracurricular activities that I want to do, or I'll be a part of. I don't know yet. I don't know if I want to sign that contract saying, yeah, I'll give you 100%. But we'll see. I've been praying about it. So I guess not applying. I had applied to some schools that I kind of know that have wrestling programs and don't have wrestling programs. But outside of that, nationals did just happen. So if I get contacts from other schools, I won't shut it down. I'm trying to keep all my options open, but just want to take it step by step. Don't want to overthink anything too much.
Wherever you go, they'll be blessed and lucky to have you.
Well, thank you.
For real.
Thank you.
So we get to like serious questions. So let's hit a not so serious question. Here, we're the Flying Eagles, as you can tell, with freedom in the background.
Yeah.
And so, as the Flying Eagles, we don't put you on a soapbox for you to tell us all your problems. Put you on the squawk box. So, get on your squawk box for a second and tell me, what is your biggest pet peeve?
My biggest pet peeve, I think this is one thing that me and my dad butt heads a lot about, is that I'm not fond when people repeat things, especially when you told me once and then you kind of just like, you say it again, okay, and you like reword it differently as if like it's not the same thing. And then I'm just like, dude, like, just like be quiet. Like, I got it the first time.
One and done.
Yeah, and my dad is like kind of stubborn, and his way is like his way, and he'll just keep on at you, and super big pet peeve. It's just like when people repeat things, like, but it's also kind of, I guess, say hypocritical of me, because sometimes I'll repeat it, but I won't like consciously know I'm doing it. So it's kind of funny in a way. But I think my dad definitely does it the worst. I think it's weird because like when other people do it, I mean, I don't get too mad. It also kind of depends on the mood I'm in. If I'm like kind of in a more happier mood, then I won't let it get to me. But it's crazy. I don't know, and it's like it has to be like a certain way, like of how you ask the question, or like just repeat it. Like it's like it has to like check off every box for it to be a pet peeve, and it's weird. It's super weird.
So just throwing this out here, Mr. Cease, we love you. So you've done a lot here, like almost everything that can be done. You have dabbled in clubs, you've done sports, you've done student government.
I've tried to experience everything.
So you have a pretty good background at Southwest. What is your funniest or best memory from your time here?
My funniest or best memory. Well, I've got to say it's sometime this year. I've got to say that. The first year was COVID, so nothing really happened. Last year was also gone for a big majority. This year was the first time I've seen the campus actually like full of students, I'd say.
Mm-hmm.
Funniest or most fun? I've got to say, probably the most fun times I've had. Definitely, probably just hanging out with the wrestling team, even though it was super small. We had some fun times, but like a school event. I've got to say the Halloween dance that the student engagement put on, and Antoine. Shout out to them. That was pretty fun. I was dressed up as a reindeer, so I was
awesome.
Yeah, it was pretty awesome, and I'm looking forward to the spring formal and stuff. Sadly, I missed the winter formal because that was my time to go back home, so I got to take advantage of it. So I've got to say probably the most fun times is probably the events they put on here. Probably the Halloween dance was probably up there, top tier.
So remind me, it might be wrong, when the costume contest rolled around, did I see a picture of you dressed up as a shark?
Yes, you did. I completely forgot about that. That was definitely, that entire week was awesome. I had a really good time. Even if it was just a few people participating, it was just super awesome experience. But yes, I was a shark. I wish I had a shark onesie so I could kind of match with my shark head, but I didn't. But I made do with what I had. I had some blue shorts, blue shirt, and then put on the shark head. Kind of just did the Baby Shark song. I was like, I think most everyone is familiar with that song, either if they love it or if they hate it.
Yes. Yes. If you've got kids, you know that you hate it.
Yeah. So, but yeah, that was that was a super awesome week. That honestly, that week would probably be up there with the Halloween dance. So
awesome. So at Southwest, you get to meet all kinds of folks. You get to meet faculty members. You get to meet, in SGA, you get the opportunity to talk to like the presidents and vice presidents and that kind of thing. So your time here, who has been your biggest like professional mentor?
Professional mentor. And at Southwest, kind of. Well, I can't really say.
If you got more than one, that's fine.
Yeah, it's probably a professional mentor. It's definitely. I try to make friends with everyone, so it's probably a lot of the advisors I try to chat with, but probably most definitely you. Someone I spoke to a lot about, helped fill me in with a lot of clubs and SGA, and just kind of been there by my side with everything. Another one is probably Chris Hess. He's super involved, super cool dude. I can just talk with him about anything. So
yeah.
It's he's also another person that, well, while I'm here, I'm a man of faith. So my church back home is super far away. So I have a church in Abingdon that I go to, but then on like doing wrestling and everything, it's like I didn't really have time to drive that far. So Chris, about 20 minutes away, he offered me an invitation to his church. So that was super nice. So he's been there, kind of offered me that invitation to his church, and it's been super awesome going there. But I'd probably you, Brandon, and Chris. Probably the two people that kind of really made this experience here more fun. Because, I don't know, if you're like me, I like to talk to everyone, including faculty.
Mm-hmm.
So, and like, kind of like pick their brains a little bit, even if like it's just to start conversation.
Like questioning about the flat Earth, or
yeah, yeah, that's funny. But yeah, that is kind of like this table, just like the Earth.
just like the Earth. Right?
Yeah, no, but it's people probably actually believe me that I think the Earth is flat for how often I say it, but it's a conversation starter. So it's pretty interesting.
If you get embarrassed easily, don't go to Wendy's with Austin, is what we're saying, because he will just find some random person to have a conversation about the flat Earth with.
Yeah, it's I'm definitely a talker. I'm really not scared to go out and talk to people. I like it, so it's I don't know. Yeah.
So to get to know you even more, right now, and I know engineering, man, it takes a lot. Wrestling, you just finished that up, it took a lot. In your spare time, if you have any, what podcasts are you listening to? What books are you reading? What video games are you playing? What movies? What do you do in your spare time? What are you doing?
So, I'm a nerd at heart, like gaming nerd. I say that, but I don't really play like a whole bunch of games. But like, in my free kind of like when you eat a meal, some people always save room for dessert.
Mm-hmm.
I always save room to like play my game with my time. It's probably not the smartest, but especially after this wrestling season, I was doing wrestling workouts. And then on top of that, I was doing a lot of school. So some days I couldn't play my game. Some days I'd only play it for an hour.
Mm-hmm.
But but I would definitely find time throughout the week to play my game.
What game?
So I play on my PC. I used to be a big PlayStation person. Just gonna say PlayStation might be a little better than Xbox, but I'm just kidding.
Okay. You're welcome to throw shade. Anybody can be wrong. That's fine.
No, so like realistically, growing up, I think the PlayStation 3 is better than Xbox 360. But like after that, they're pretty much the same system. Like it's just Sony makes one and Microsoft makes the other. It's pretty much the same thing. But now PC is just like on a whole different level. Like now that I joined the PC, it's like PlayStation and Xbox is like way down here compared to PC. But yeah, I got PC at home, dual monitors, so
You're
take
fine.
it. Yeah, but the games I play, super toxic games. For those of you who don't know what toxic means, it's kind of, I'm trying to find the right words. It's very, I don't think there's another word for toxic. It's just like, just don't mess up while you're playing the game, or else you're gonna get flamed by your teammates. Yeah.
Gotcha.
So it's
Multiplayer.
yeah. So League of Legends is
Okay.
is
I know
one.
where we are, man.
Yeah.
That's all you had to say was League of Legends.
Yeah.
I know where we are.
My brother introduced me to that game when I was young. I'm not that good at it, but it's kind of just play it for fun now. Used to play ranked. Don't anymore. It makes me a little
Ranked at wrestling, ranked at League of Legends. Had to pick something, right?
Yeah. And then play this pixel game, Realm of the Mighty God. It's a smaller game. That game makes me mad. It's a permadeath game.
Mm-hmm.
So like you go around, it's a RPG, like you go around killing things and it drops like loot.
Mm-hmm.
and then you pick it up. You gotta max out your character, and then when you die, like you die, like
That's it.
yeah, like you lose everything. You gotta restart, and it's just like, dang, like I just wasted like X amount of hours of my life doing that. But then you do it again and again and again, and it's just like, oh my gosh.
There's a life lesson buried deep in that somewhere.
And then, of course, I play like Call of Duty, Warzone, and then a new game I'm playing. If my friends will actually get it, is Rust. So it's a fun game. It can be a little toxic as well, but it's a overall fun game. And then my shows I watch. I love anime. I'm waiting for the new season of Talon Talk, Demon Slayer. Watching Spy X Family right now. And what's the other one? Fire Force. Almost on Fire Force, but I've watched a lot of them. And then but the show I'm watching right now is Vikings. I'm almost finished with it, but after Ragnar died, I was kind of just like,
spoiler alert.
Oh yeah, I'm so sorry if no one's seen Vikings yet. Ragnar, everyone dies eventually, you know.
It's just true. This is life, right? It just happens.
Yeah. Yeah, I completely. Yeah, I'm sorry about that. But yeah, well, I watched it when I was a kid, and I knew he was gonna die. So like, the seasons leading up to it, I like slowly watched it, and then I was like, all right, I need to watch it.
It's coming.
Yeah, so I watched it, and he died, and I was like, dang. And then I know everything else. And I know another spoiler alert. I know Lagertha's gonna die, but I'm not at that point yet. So I'm kind of
just know it's happening, right?
Yeah. So that happened, and then I just watched Outer Banks. You know, new season came out, and then The Last of Us on HBO Max. Pretty good show. I played a little bit of the game when I was younger. I never finished it, but that's a show I'm watching too. So
what I've gathered is Austin doesn't sleep. 'Cause between wrestling and school and maintaining his GPA and watching his anime and Vikings and gaming, sleeping is just like it's not important. I mean, you're fine.
It's a busy life, but the shows are kind of like
sporadic.
Yeah, sporadic. Like it's like
I feel that
kind of like if I like just saying like a week's time, like I'll play my game like not on a busy week, so like just a normal like let's say like 40 hours like a school week, like 50 hours. That gives me like probably a day free. I'll probably spend like sleep about 9 hours, catch up on sleep a little bit, 8 to 9 hours, and then play my game. When I get bored doing that, or if I die, I'll go watch the show, come back to the game, or I'll just chat with the roommates, go to Walmart. So
you just covered all the things there are to do. So next question. You're going to be an electrical engineer. That's your goal.
Yeah.
If you could do anything else other than that, what would it be?
So it's funny you ask. The original reason I came to Southwest. This is my third year, by the way. The first year here, I came for wrestling because it was the only. I'm pretty sure, anyways. It was the only community college because right out of high school, I didn't want to go to a 4-year. Just thinking back on it now, it's kind of ironic because I'm gonna be going to a 4-year, but. I don't want to go to a 4-year. I didn't want to go to a 4-year after high school, but I don't know what I'm saying. Okay, so the first year here, I was here for the advanced manufacturing program, Because in high school, I was super hands-on with everything. I already had my welding certificate. I got it back at home at the career academy our high school offered. So I went to college for that. And then I was coming here for the kind of just to dabble my toes in like each trade field. And I wanted my CNC degree because that was pretty handy to have in a machine shop, just along with the welding degree certificate. So if I wasn't an engineer, I'd probably be working in a machine shop or open my own machine shop. But if I worked in one, I wouldn't work there my entire life. I'd gain some experience, went there for like probably, or if I didn't work in a machine shop, I would go work on the pipeline. If I didn't do that, I would become a TIG welder. Or if I didn't do that, I was thinking about becoming an underwater welder. Yeah.
Yeah, man. I mean, you can make a lot of money doing that.
But like a offshore. I mean, I guess, because I think that offshore is not like what we think offshore. It's like their offshore is like in like the ocean.
Yeah.
So I'd be like an inshore. So I'd be like probably like still like a
shipyard or something.
Well, like I think it's like within like 10 miles from the beach.
Gotcha.
It's like the inshore and the offshore is like where the oil rigs are, like far away, and then so you can still come up and down within the day. But like, I think the offshore is like you're underwater for like a month, and I was like, oof, I don't know if I want to do that. I was like, but I could be an inshore welder, like kind of like working like big lakes. Because my dad was telling me a story about he knew of an underwater welder that was making bank. That's what first brought me to it. I was like, I want to make the money. And plus I liked welding anyways. So he knew a guy that was working on a dam. I forgot which one. That was a pretty big one because he set his stuff down, or he swam to the bottom, set his stuff down on what he thought was like a rock or the bottom. But it was just a big fish, and it started moving. And I was like, that's crazy. But that's kind of cool at the same time. So I'd probably go into some trade if I didn't do engineering. Or if I didn't do that, I would honestly becoming a teacher or like a coach doesn't sound like a bad idea. Seems pretty fun, pretty relaxed.
Like I didn't know you were a welder until just now, and so like if you would have said either welder or teacher, I'd have been like, teacher? I didn't know that you had weld. So now you've been here for a while. If you could go back to high school and give your high school self one piece of advice, what would it be?
Oh, definitely start looking up on YouTube computer programming and MATLAB and kind of so I get a head start. Like, because like right now, like I'm struggling with MATLAB and I understand computer like programming, but because like coming here, like our high school is like was good at their education. Or I guess Georgia was our academics was good. But when I came up here, it was like, oh yeah, everyone already kind of knew what like AutoCAD was and MATLAB or Octave, which is like a free MATLAB, and like all these computer programs like C++, Python, Java. And I was like, I got here, and I was like, this is my first time hearing about it. I was like, I didn't know any of this was like a thing. I was like, I knew like it all kind of fell under like computer programming or like AutoCAD's like a designing program, like 3D designing and stuff. But a lot of these kids here already kind of got that exposure from like high schools and stuff, and I was like, I never got that. So I'd probably, if I could go back, I'd tell them, but hey, you are going to 4-year, just to get that in your head. So start, and you want to become an electrical engineer, which is kind of ironic. Well, because when I was a freshman in high school, I wanted to become an engineer because this place called Northrop Grumman came to our middle school. I was doing like what it's called, like a
career day thing.
Yeah, career day thing. Yeah, and then so I want to do that. I was like, you make good money, and it seems pretty interesting. I was like, that's like sparked my interest, and I was like, I don't want to go to school. I was like, never. I was just going to a trade. And then now I'm like, okay, no. So I'd probably tell younger me to. Actually, I would tell him first, you're gonna hit this thing called COVID, and you're gonna relax a little too much. So you need to still wrestle every day, and like still take care of your body. I'm not saying like I still worked out every day, but I didn't wrestle as much because at the time it was just like me and my buddy here, and we both had super weird schedules. Like the restaurant room was kind of closed and open. Like it was super weird. So we weren't able to wrestle a lot. But like just find time to wrestle, and study those programming. And also say, since you want to go into electrical, start like studying like circuit analysis and like power, like and like power.
All the things that would have made your life a lot easier.
Yeah, right now.
At this point.
Yeah, because like I was saying, most of these kids kind of got that. I don't want to say head start, but they kind of already familiar with it. I wasn't, so I'd definitely try and get familiar with it, especially because like in high school, it's like you have that set time to like learn it, or like you're there. In college, it's like, all right, you have that set time, but you also have a lot more freedom, and you can kind of choose what you want to do, and it takes a lot of discipline, and it's just kind of discipline. But yeah, that's what I tell them. Just go and study.
2 more questions, and then we'll be done. I know your time's a premium as a engineering student. So what do people misunderstand about you the most?
Misunderstand. I don't know how to put this. I guess that most people think that. I don't know how to say this without like kind of like sounding rude. I guess a lot of people think that I'm like a kind of give off like frat boy vibes, or like kind of I don't know. That's not really an appropriate word, but like kind of like douchey vibes and stuff. But I don't really want to be like. That's not me. I try to meet everyone. I try not to hold myself on a pedestal. I try to be humble about everything. I try to relate to everyone. And I definitely don't like when other people like hold themselves higher than other people. I think that's not acceptable. Because it's just not cool, you know. So yeah, I think people might think that I'm like a jock or something. I like to say I'm a pretty like down to earth guy, like you can talk to about anything, because I don't know. I don't know. So I'd say that's what people, and also it's kind of a little off. Well, not that's the same thing, but separate. But people might not think that I have Tourette's.
Really?
Yeah, I have Tourette's. I was, I guess, diagnosed when I was like third grade or something. So yeah, I've got. It's not like where I like shout out like just random words, thankfully, but it's pretty rough still. Like I get like, it's not as bad now, but I get like when I was a kid, like head tics, like if there's like a pattern or like a rhythm, I'd try and copy it, like humming or like tics, or kind of like I stutter a lot, or like I'm like kind of like I have to like really think about like how I'm gonna say this word before I actually say it. Like growing up, like it was super embarrassing because I think in middle school was when it hit me the worst. Saying the word can, like can I have this, was like it'd take me like 10 tries for it to come out. And like I'd be like at the restaurant, just be like staring at him, just trying to process it. And it was just, I'm looking back at it now, I think it's funny. But at the time, I was like so nervous, I guess. But I guess it's just like one of those things that kind of was like a insecurity, I guess, you could say. But I guess like kind of just through wrestling and just like I gained some confidence and just like who cares what other people think, you know? Just kind of just accepted the fact that you just gotta accept who you are. And yeah, I mean I got Tourette's. Sometimes it'll still like pop out if I'm like, but most of the time now it only happens if I'm like super nervous or like kind of like just like unprepared, I guess. But most of the time I'm just like on the fly, so I'm super talkative. But yeah, it's just kind of ironic. I've been saying ironic a lot, but because when I was a kid I was super scared to talk because I had Tourette's, or I stuttered a lot. But now it's just like I can go up to anybody and just start talking. It's I
mean, and you're giving the student speech at commencement.
Yeah, that's I'm excited for that. It's awesome. I gotta start making my speech though.
Yeah,
I do.
Yeah, you got like 2 months, bro. I mean, you're fine. You're fine. It's plenty of time.
Yeah, but yeah, I'd say those two things. People probably don't think I have Tourette's, and which I do, and I've heard this. People probably perceive me as a wrong. They stereotype me, I guess is a better word. But I mean, I try not to be like that. I try to be very like down to earth and humble through everything, win or lose. So
I would say you succeed in that. Last question. We ask everybody this question. The coffee scene in Richlands has changed pretty dramatically. That's 2 words put together. It's drastically and dramatically. So that's when you smash those 2 words together. So it used to be which McDonald's were you going to get coffee? Now we have a Starbucks.
Mm-hmm.
So you just rolled up into Starbucks. What do you order?
Well, it's actually I used to not like coffee at all. Like growing up, I was like, I hate coffee. Which I'm still not the biggest fan of it. Like iced coffee is okay. Hot coffee is like, dude, just go drink some tea. Like it's like, or something. But I'm not really a big fan of like anything hot. That's not a soup. It's like, why would you drink that if it's hot? Like if you're gonna drink something, you gotta like I don't know, but like iced coffee is pretty good. I don't know what flavor. My girlfriend makes some pretty good iced coffee. Don't tell her that though.
Yeah, she'll never see this.
Yeah. No, she, and then but definitely I just started going to Starbucks.
Mm-hmm.
I get the frappuccino.
Yeah.
I think it's called the cookie mocha crumble or something. And then I really like all their fraps. It's pretty good, but the cookie crumble mocha, I think is what it's called. The vanilla bean is pretty good. And the strawberry one is pretty good too. But I think my go-to is, I don't know, probably the cookie mocha crumble is probably the top tier, I'd say.
Yeah. Next time you either try Dragon Drink, bro.
Dragon Drink?
A Dragon Drink. It will change the game. It will change the game.
I'll try it.
Austin, it has been awesome having you on today. Thank you so much for taking time to come hang out. I learned so much about you. I did not know that you were into anime. I did not know that you were such a hardcore gamer, that you had a PC that you gamed on. I did not know about being a welder. I did not know about your Tourette's, and I see you every day. Mm-hmm. So thank you so much for your time.
Thank you for having me.
If you see Austin running around campus, stop by and holler at him. He'll probably stop you first and talk to you. If you weren't planning on coming to graduation before, you should come now to hear Austin's speech at graduation.
It's going to be awesome. It's going to be an awesome speech.
He hasn't written it yet, but he knows.
Yeah, it's just going to be awesome.
He knows. And thank you so much for joining us on Talon Talk. We look forward to seeing you in the not too distant future with our next episode.